It looks like the similar planes will keep the shape. We'll have we'll share a background is what I'm trying to say, if you know what I mean. So, and also with a bevel, I don't know if you guys remember my demo in class, I did a bevel, and it sort of treats it as one plane. So there we go. We didn't get that color all the way. Let's see if we can get that color all the way. There we go. Get that color all the way to the bottom there. There we go. Okay, that was bothering me. So here is a nice little quickie 3D rendering experiment. Look at different look at different views. What I also want you to look at is camera angles. You can change your camera field of view. You can do a vertical rotation, a side-to-side rotation, and that kind of rotation. And so play around with that. Where'd that go? There we go. All right. Play around with that. Another thing to remember, if you find an angle that you particularly like but you want to keep playing around, then hit camera bookmarks up here, and that will save. And you can go back to those bookmarks. Yeah, save, I think. Oh, there we go. There we go. So view 1. Should name it, properly. All right, there's that. All right, so, okay. I don't know if you can hear those people, but I moved to a new place. I live next door to an Airbnb, and I never know who's going to be there. Sometimes they're really loud. Sometimes I don't even know they're there. So, I also have very little furniture right now, which is why it sounds very echoey in here. Hey! Yeah. My son likes to come in here and scream a lot and make echoes. All right, let's talk about backgrounds. So, libraries, starter assets, you can get some basic shapes, models, standard substance, directional lights. We hadn't even gotten to lighting yet. So anyway, here's the background on our images. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff. A desert, a table, which is pretty much the standard. We're going to want to adjust, obviously. You can do abstract stuff. You can import your own, which is, of course, what I like to do. So, but let's mess with this table right now. And you can see things look very kind of weird and wacky, and things are floating in the air. And what we want to do is to use match background to match the perspective. So, all right, let's redo this. What we want to do is match the background, the image, the perspective, and the lighting. There's a quick and easy way to do this. Of course, you can customize your own and do it manually. You can dig into that later. For right now, let's just look under scene and environment. Just environment, actions, match image. So what we're just going to click on match image, and it's going to say resize canvas to image aspect ratio, create lights, multiple lights, match camera perspective. That's the important one. So then we hit OK, and boom, there we are. We've got some boxes sitting on a table, and it looks pretty okay. That's, we can get crazy. We can play with some global intensity light there. We can move our lights around. I always personally like my lighting coming from the top left, because that's what the great Renaissance painters taught us, I'm sure all of you remember from art history class. Shadow opacity. So your eye visually wants the lighting to come from the top left, therefore your shadows are being cast to the bottom right. Prove me wrong. That's what the eye wants to see. That's what the human eye wants to see. All right. Ground plane shadow opacity. This is reflection opacity. If we had a different, more reflective tabletop, that would be applicable. It's not really doesn't really matter here. Okay. There we go. There is your seed packaging quick tutorial. I encourage you to keep watching the YouTube videos that I recommended. I strongly encourage you to search more YouTube videos on your own, depending on what you specifically want to do, because I can't cover everything in class or in a video. And hopefully you guys will be going outside the norms and do crazy stuff, and you may just teach me something. I do want to show you this under Adobe.com. It looks like helpxadobe.com. These are the keyboard shortcuts that I've been using. Most common is move, E for move, R for rotate, S for scale, and then down here is V for select. Z for zoom and all these other things, but those four, the E, R, S, and V are the most common ones you want to start using right away. So if you select and you get an E, that's for move, an R for rotate, an S as in Sam for scale, and a V as in Victor for select. All right. Have fun. I look forward to seeing what you guys do. I also wanted to encourage you, especially in second year, if you can pull it off this year, that'd be great, to start doing your own backgrounds and your own original renderings. So I just shot this literally of the table that I'm sitting at right now. Didn't think about perspective or anything, obviously, but so you can use your own personal images. You just drag it in this way, drag it into your library the same way you drag in your graphics, and then you can pull it down over the background here, and you want to make sure the background is shown there. And there we have a custom real background. We can go ahead and do the match image thing, which may be kind of wacky with a custom background, but we'll find out. It's the lighting. Yeah, it's not bad. And then you can always kind of work on how these things are lined up. Kind of, yeah. And sometimes, you may need to reshoot your background. But either way, that's just another thought, something else to think about. I know you don't have enough to think about.